film that world history could have done without.
2017 there's going to be an emoji movie.
We are covering emoji
movies.
movies.
I wonder if the creators of this movie thought the emoji pop was gonna be a thing. Stop. I like one of the most hated movies of this generation. And before you run to the comments and start hating, let me explain why. I'm sure many of you have heard of this movie or seen it before just because of how popular it was when it first came out. But for those of you who haven't, I'm gonna give a brief explanation. This story follows Jean, who is a meh emoji raised by meh emoji parents. And in the emoji world, you have to conform to your emotion 24/7. Jean, who is the meh emoji, does not conform. He's a very joyous, happy, fun-loving guy, and he cannot hold back laughter. There is their god, basically, who is the person controlling the phone, and the human clicks on Jean. He fails and turns out with the funkiest emoji ever known to mankind, and he is immediately sent away. This is when he embarks on a long journey to try and survive and learn how to be more meh. They actually find out that the best emojis are actually GIFs, and that's what Jean is practically. And it turns out to save all of emoji land. Now, I'm not gonna stand here and say that the Emoji Movie isn't cringy as hell and that the writing isn't really bad and kind of out of touch. I do agree. I agree 100%, but I don't think that's what matters, and that's why I'm making this video, because everybody focuses on all of the meh. Get it? All of the meh things. Everybody always focuses on all of the meh things about this movie, but what we are not focusing on is who the target audience is and how it is affecting these kids creativity-wise. There are many things I don't like about this movie, but that is not the point. Yes, this movie does read out of touch. Yes, that hand emoji moves in such a disgusting, disturbing way. Actually, that's it. If I'm gonna say I don't like anything strongly about this movie, it's that hand emoji, because what is it doing? Who animated this and went, yeah, that is exactly how a hand moves? No. But I didn't think about those things in 2017 when I was watching this movie for the first time. That was the last thing on my mind. I didn't think about how none of these emojis even look like emojis. By the way, I messaged some of my friends who don't have iPhones to confirm that these emojis are just their own creatures. And yeah, no, these emojis just... Why do they have hair? But what I did see in 2017 was a creative interpretation of the icons on screens I had seen almost every day of my young life. And I wasn't a major iPad kid, but there were adults in my life. I watched YouTube. I had a Kindle Fire. Giving a life and giving a personality to these things, I feel like was important for me to establish being creative as a kid. It's one of the reasons why the Lego Movie is my favorite movie as well, just because giving an inanimate object its own life and its own personality, like, inspired my young self to do the same with my characters. When I was little with my brother, we were some of the most creative kids out there. We made little movies all the time. I always was thinking of stories in my head. I read so much, and I just think having these examples in media that characters don't have to be humans, that characters don't have to be like real, was just great for little me. Not only did the Emoji Movie inspire creative young me, but it also allowed me to know that I don't have to fit inside some box. If the world is telling me to be one thing, I don't have to be that thing. I have free will, I am my own person, everyone is different. Gene was expected to be meh all of the time, but that's not who he was. He's energetic, he's fun-loving, he's goofy, he's all of the things I was when I was a kid. I was provided with a role model that ensured me I don't have to fit inside the box. Emoji Movie shows kids a lesson that has been taught hundreds of times. You may be different, and you may be judged, and you may be criticized, and you may be shunned away for the things that make you unique, but in the end, you are just as important as everyone else. In Gene's case, he even became the hero for being a little gif. Gene held his head up high even after he was shamed by his parents, even after he was sent away, even after he spent this whole quest falling in love, getting rejected, and still in the end trying to be meh. And when he finally learns the lesson that him being able to express all of the emotions, it was the most important thing and saved all of the emojis' lives. Which is so dramatic, but I love it. I love it as a kid's movie. If you don't like this movie, that's pretty normal. I've seen the reviews. It's not a liked movie. And I am taking from Gene. I am inspired to step outside the box and voice my opinion on my appreciation for the Emoji Movie, and I hope you can accept that. And you can jump into the comments right now and be like, but the Emoji Movie is problematic, because this was my opinion. I've said all I need to say. I think it's great. And if you want to see my full review, this is my letterbox. I basically covered everything I just said. And if you think I should invest in a better microphone, maybe drop a sub. It really helps out. Thank you so much for watching. This was my hot take on the Emoji Movie. Hope to see you again. Bye. This is Clyde Somerset Shelton. Can you please voice your opinion on the Emoji Movie?
It has lots of emojis, but not the good ones.
What are the good ones?
And it doesn't show how the actual emojis feel.
It does. That's the whole point.
I don't remember.
I want you to think back on when we were younger and how our love for this movie blossomed us into being creative people, and how the Emoji Movie inspired us to give a voice to things that previously didn't have a voice. What would you like to say on this topic?
Could you say that again? I watched the Emoji Movie back in 2017. And now, in 2026, I failed all of my classes. So
I think that has something else to. I think that's
just put that out there. And yeah.